Okay, hey, Brandon Simmons here. Now I want to talk about finding sellers, finding motivated sellers. Now, there's a lot of different ways to find motivated sellers, so I'm going to talk to you about a couple ways that are free or very low on cost or very inexpensive, to the ones that cost a little bit more and ones that can cost, the cost really goes up quite a bit. So, I'm talking about from the free leads to the more expensive leads. So when it comes to free leads, just go off of Zillow and Craigslist. Look at the for sale by owner section. Go to Craigslist, and Sean has a perfect if, this, and that keyword search that you can use and plug in, and then you can create your own if, this, then that applets to have emails dropped in your email box every single day of seller leads. Now, this is a really great free resource. It uses Craigslist, and then you get the seller leads emailed right into your inbox. Now, the next thing is also whenever you're looking at a for sale by owners, a lot of people forget to think about the for rent by owners. For rent by owners are great because for rent by owners do two things for you. One is they're motivated sellers a lot of times. A lot of times these are landlords, they're absentee owners, the houses are vacant. So these are some of the best leads if you get a hold of them and see if they're willing to sell their house at a discount. Okay, or use seller financing to buy the home. So basically go through the for rent by owner section in Craigslist and in Zillow, okay? Now, if you have a hard time getting a hold of them, let's say you call them, you text them, you send carrier pigeon, whatever you need to do to get to them, send direct mail. Make sure you reach these people. Try multiple times. Do not stop at the first sign of defeat. A lot of times you're gonna have to call and text them and email them and send them a letter just to get a hold of them. But sometimes these are the best leads. So look at the for sale by owners, the for rent by owners in both Craigslist and Zillow. Now, as far as finding motivated sellers through lists, you can also do direct mail. And what I'm going to talk about here in just a second, these lists that I'm going to tell you about, you can use for direct mail, you can use for RVM, and you can use for cold calling. So these lists can be recycled and used in multiple ways. So whenever you're looking for lists, you can go to a couple different sources. We have ListSource, we have Rebo Gateway, we have DataZap, and the choices are really endless. But basically, you're looking for motivated sellers. So what makes a motivated seller? Well, one would be an absentee owner, like a landlord. Okay, absentee owners are great because absentee owners could also be potential buyers for deals too. So maybe they're not willing to sell, but maybe they're looking for more property. So whenever you're on Zillow and you're on Craigslist looking for those for rent by owners, the landlords, those are potential buyers as well. So the list that we're talking about, you can find absentee owners through DataZap, ListSource, Rebo Gateway. There's a couple of different other sources out there which are in the Flip to Freedom Academy as well. But basically you get absentee owners, you get high equity, meaning you want to have someone that bought the house probably about 10 years ago, and you want to make sure that they have at least 50% equity in the property. That'd be great. Also, I forgot to mention REWW, Kent Clothier Smart Suite. You can find vacant houses. You can find absentees. You can also find tax default. So tax default, absentee owners, high equity, divorce. Now, here's some specialty niches. Now, if you have the ability, sometimes you can, if you go to your local municipality, you can find out about folks that have inherited properties. You can go through lists, Lance Edwards, U.S. Leads List. So he also has probate, or what they call inheritance list. Okay, so some of these niche lists are really awesome, but they're not going to be a lot of leads in there. But you can get the U.S. Leads List, the inherited list, the probate leads from your local municipalities. You can also get tax default a lot of times from your local tax assessor or Rebo Gateway. And then also what I wanted to bring about is sometimes you can find municipalities that they have disconnected lists, like disconnected utilities, disconnected water. These lists are great to help you find motivated sellers. So let's go through this list again. So we're going to go with absentee owners, high equity, okay, inheritance, tax default, probate, divorce, and then utility shutoff, or also municipalities will also have code enforcement lists. So the smaller the list, the nicher the list is really good, because a lot of times those are really high motivation. but there's not usually a lot of leads on that list. But remember, this list you can go ahead and get. You can direct mail them. You can go ahead and you can send them to get appended for the cell phone numbers. So you can send RVMs, ringless voice messages to them, and you can cold call them. So this is a really cool way to recycle these motivated seller leads and reach out to them multiple ways, through direct mail, through cold calling, and through RVM. Now you can, in order to get appended, so the phone numbers appended, you can go through DataZap, you can go through batch skip tracing, you can go through need to skip. There's a couple different resources out there. And we'd love to provide them for you. They're also in the Flip Your Freedom Academy. So I hope that helps you start getting your list together right now for motivated sellers. Get some direct mail out, get the RVMs going, and get cold calling on these. Thanks so much.